and welcome back to Work in the Verse. I'm Thor.
And I'm Rick. Everybody, we got something special for you today.
That's right, we're delving just a bit deeper into the Quest 3. I've been in the headset a bit more since the last video. Got some questions, and Rick, I think you've got some too, especially about the price, right?
Exactly. So what I want to know, is it better than the Quest 2, especially considering that the Canadian price for this thing is $649, which is very steep. And I know it's more expensive in other countries like Australia. So it's got to be worth it, in my opinion, to pay that kind of money.
All right, so then it sounds like you've been eyeing the Quest 3. And is it the price that's holding you back mostly?
Yeah, well, okay, so I bought the Quest 2 for $299 Canadian a couple of years ago. So then it went up to $399. But now the Quest 3 is $649. So I just want to know, are the features justifying that cost, that big jump? Right? It's almost more than twice amount of that I paid for my original.
Dang, that is a steep price jump considering here in the US, it's only $499. Well, let's see if there's anything I found out about the device that might sway your decision. Let's go ahead and do a quick little unboxing here. And what do you think about this box design? Is this something else or what?
Yeah, I like it. It's minimalistic and intriguing.
And with the headset, it does feel lighter than the Quest 2, but that's because of the head strap I use, which is the BoboVR M2. Did you ever replace the stock head strap with your Quest 2?
No, I'm too cheap. I stayed with what came in the box, but I can say it's kind of one of my biggest gripes. Well, the one thing I notice is that I can only stay in the headset so long before I start noticing how uncomfortable it is. I start sweating and it just feels heavy on my head, and then I can't just stay in VR any longer.
Yeah, you're not the only person there. I have to say this too. The head strap for the Quest 3 that comes out of the box is probably not much better. I know I got rid of my original for the Quest 2 right away. And with the Quest 3, I can say, yeah, I don't think you're going to like it that much. But we'll come back to that. Let's look at the controllers. What do you think of these?
Yeah, they look sleek, simple, hopefully effective.
Yeah, I can tell you this. The haptics are interesting. I think they're still working on it, but they are different than the Quest 2. Especially when looking through the menus and working with them, you can actually feel it moving in the controllers. But here's the one thing I don't like about the controllers. I don't like them because those straps aren't very good, and Meta wants to charge an extra $39.99 for their active straps.
Oh, it's like they're pulling an Apple, nickel and diming us for all the accessories.
Yeah, they are. And because of that, I'm already looking at other alternatives. I've seen a lot pop up on Amazon that are much less. Well, the one problem with those is sometimes I can tell they're taking some shortcuts, and they just took their Quest 2 offerings and then they kind of stripped off some of the stuff so that way it works for the Quest 3 because they're basically the same controller. And yeah, they'll probably work, but I think these companies missed an opportunity here, especially for those who are trying to be a little bit more innovative.
Cool. Okay, so let's move on to the face covering. So what's the material like? Is it just fabric, or is it the silicone or silicon, whatever? Is that material?
You've been watching my other videos. I said silicone, it's really silicone, but hey, that's okay. Think back to the Quest 2. They had the material and then they eventually had to replace it with the silicone. And so they went back to the material. It's better than the Quest 2. And I like it for the fact is it doesn't pull my glasses off. And I know that because I actually took a Quest 2 wrapper and put it around just to see if it would work. More on that here in just a little bit. And when I did, it actually pulls my glasses off, which is pretty funny. With the material, so far, I haven't really noticed the sweat, but I haven't even gotten to the sweat stage yet, though.
Oh, so it sounds like you haven't gone full out, eh? So any reasons?
Yeah, fear factor.
So what do you mean fear factor?
Well, there's two things. The headset doesn't feel like it's going to stay in place because of that stock head strap. And I also feel like I might get some lunchtime with those controllers.
That doesn't sound promising. So are you telling me it's going to get even more expensive to try out this headset?
Yeah, I think so, at least for me, anyways. Being an early adopter comes with some drawbacks. For example, more light leakage than expected.
Oh,
Yeah, there's more because of the glass adjuster. I won't say a lot about the glass adjuster since I covered it in a previous video, but I'll say this, the more I use it and see it, it's really not a well executed solution. In fact, the gap is big enough, I can actually see my hands. And I think again, it's because my face is farther away. So because of that, not only am I seriously considering getting prescription lenses, but I actually pre-ordered some yesterday.
oh, so are you kidding me? So are you trying to like dissuade me from getting this Quest 3?
It sounds like it, doesn't it? I'm trying to be transparent though before we talk how awesome this headset is.
Okay, let me add this up. So the headset, what you're saying is the headset is $6.49 Canadian. The active straps, as Meta calls them, for the controllers are $55. A replacement head strap starts around $40, and then throw in prescription lenses for about $98. And no freaking way. That's like $200 over the starting price.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know. But let's take a step back. You don't have to do all of this at once. I wanted to do a little bit more, but I can't because some of the things I want aren't even available now. But, let's take it back when you started with your Quest 2. How much did you really decide to invest in it before you said, oh yeah, I need that to make this a better experience?
Yeah, but come on.
I know, but just like anything, you get to decide what's most important for you. There are some ways, though, to lower the cost.
Oh, do tell.
It's called the internet. There are so many different workarounds, and I mentioned a couple already. And you have to remember, too, the headset's only been officially out for 15 days since we recorded this video. So let's talk about some of the innovative things I've found so far. First of all, there's this gem of a video by HotshotTek, and he covers these simple things that might not be top of mind, like the idea that Meta included a free lens cover right in the box. I know it sounds silly, that piece of cardboard that you see here, but it works. You can also reuse your Quest 2 visor covers. I'm not sure if it'll work well, but hey, why not give it a try, especially if you've got a Quest 2 lying around. It's not going to hurt. And same with your controller grip covers, because the controller is basically the same. There's just no ring on them anymore. Also, if you happen to have a BoboVR M2 Pro headset, you can actually get 3D print replacement parts, and I'll have a link below, for free. Well, okay, at least the design, and then you can go ahead and get those printed. If you're not up for doing that, or you don't know anybody who has a 3D printer, no worries. You can also look at the Retrofit Kit. That is if you can get one. Hopefully, they'll be able to get supplies back up in November. As not only is the Retrofit Kit unavailable, but so is the full headset too. And I think that's where we're going to see some challenges, especially if you're trying to upgrade or at least make your Quest 3 a little bit more usable than it is right out of the box.
Yeah, so those are some good ideas. They're a little bit hacky, but not bad. Besides these kind of drawbacks, is there anything you can leave me on a positive note?
The first time you put on the headset, you will be blown away. I mean, it is that good for the experience. You'll love the boot time on this. I mean, it's so much different than the Quest 2.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely feel like, hey, I'm already in and ready to go.
All right.
Oh, and I got to say this too, because Rick, I know you and I have talked a lot about using this with our computers where we want to do some work on a bigger screen.
Right.
And this thing is amazing compared to the Quest 2. This is the first time I felt like, you know what, I can actually be in this headset for a few hours, except for that head strap. And I saw this too the other day where somebody was complaining on how painful it is after a short time. I think the new head straps, though, would definitely fix that. And again, that's what's frustrating. Why didn't they include this in the first place? Make it feel like it's more of an elite device instead of, hey, we're just going to get by with the bare bones here.
Right. Well, I'm not exactly sure you've convinced me yet. I'm a bit of a skeptic here. But, I think I'll wait till after the holidays to see where things are. And in the meantime, I'm going to have to live vicariously through you. So I'm counting on you to be as critical as you can. Give me the goods.
Ah, great, no pressure. But I'll say this, though, you really can't go wrong jumping in now or waiting. Now, if you wait, you might lose out on the free game that they've been pushing really hard. But for the most part, I don't think that's a deal breaker for most. Well, Rick, I think we should wrap up here. I'm going to go get some more Quest 3 time in, and I'll get back to everyone with more impressions and what else is happening out there in the metaverse.
Sounds good. Hey, everyone, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and until next time, keep working the verse.